This is no. I don't want to start it like that. I cringed every time. I hated it so much.
Taylor and Alan talking about movies. They may be best friends, but they always disagree. Taylor and Alan, I seen that.
So we're talking about Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Correct.
Have you seen that?
Now, I'm like 99% sure that I have, but there's a chance that I haven't. Because it kind of blends together with the first Terminator movie. I know I haven't seen any of the new ones.
Do you know, have you seen the first one?
I've definitely seen the first one.
Are you thinking the first one is the second one? Are you thinking the second one is the first one?
Okay, so there is the one.
Yep.
That's
true.
Okay, no. I remember the second one is where the mom is being held, right?
Yes.
Her name is Lisa? John, I don't remember names.
Sarah?
John Connor and
Sarah.
Lisa Connor.
Nope.
Okay, but that is the one she's being held?
Yes, her name is Sarah.
Sarah Connor.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, okay, I've seen that one.
Yeah. And her son is a high school kid, rides a dirt bike. I've probably seen this movie, I don't even know, hundreds and hundreds of times. When I was in first grade, I pretty much watched this movie every day.
Every day?
Yeah, my parents were not good.
When I was in first grade, I was watching Space Jam every day.
Nice. That's not a good movie.
Space Jam is an amazing movie.
When was the last time you watched Space Jam?
I don't know. Sounds like we're going to do that one next. It's been some time. Oh, you know what? This is the one with, okay, I remember now. I don't know why I was thinking it was an Asian guy.
Yeah, well that was a different one. That was a Terminator movie.
Yeah, I remember. This is the one with, what's his name? Robert Patrick.
Robert Patrick?
He was the one coming after Sarah.
Oh, yeah. The T-1000.
Yes. Yeah, so basically, this one is Arnold trying to save the young John Connor.
Yeah, so John Connor in the future catches Arnold in the future, reprograms him, sends him to the past to protect from the T-1000 that got sent back.
Right.
Now, this movie pretty much shaped my whole life.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, pretty much every decision I've ever made is based off of this movie. Were you allowed to watch this as a kid?
No. That's why it never gained a cult following with me.
Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Are you allowed to watch this movie now?
20. If I don't tell my mom, then I could probably watch it. Which would probably be upset.
Yeah. Well, don't let her listen to this.
Because guns and stuff. And you know how my mom feels about guns.
So, what is your opinion of Terminator 2?
I liked it. I liked it better than the first one, which I remember even less.
Yeah, the first
one... I
one...
remember thinking, cool, but there was something about Sarah that bothered me. I don't like that, I think.
What was it about Sarah that bothered you?
I think it's acting.
Her acting?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Or she just made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was probably more it. You're just not, you can't handle a strong woman.
I cannot. This is true.
That's what everyone has said about you.
That's what they've always said.
Yeah, I remember the first one being, like, scary. The first Terminator movie. I, like,
okay, so...
Well, again, I was in first grade, so...
So, the first thing that I ever actually saw of Terminator was they had a ride at Universal Studios. I don't know if you went during the time when they had it. It was like a 3D, like a 3D show, you know?
Yeah.
but it was like an original thing. But it had all the same actors in it. It had Arnold in it.
Yeah.
And it was basically, he was saving you, the audience, from like robots, right? And so you're like going on motorcycles and things are blowing up and it's cool, this and that. He has his catchphrases and his shotguns. I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool. And then I watched the first Terminator and I was very, very disappointed that Arnold was then the bad guy, and I was very confused.
Yeah, that was upsetting to me.
Why he was the bad guy here and not in the other, and it was upsetting to me.
I wonder what the decision making behind making him the good guy was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if he just became too famous to be the bad guy.
That's what I was thinking. He was like, I can't do it. I cannot be a bad guy. That's my best Arnold.
That's the worst Arnold impression I've ever heard.
And it's the best I can do.
That's not that surprising that those two would.
Let's hear your Arnold.
Nah, I'm good.
That's what I thought. You're afraid.
No, I know I can't do one.
Put the cookie down now.
That was better than your first one.
That's because this one I've rehearsed a lot.
Yeah, with your kids. Or is that just what you say to your wife?
Airtime. Yeah, so I remember being disappointed that he was a bad guy. I remember thinking he was so cool in that ride.
I don't remember this ride that you're talking about.
Well, like I said, it wasn't really a ride. It was you sat in a theater with the 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
You remember like the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience?
Yeah.
At Disneyland? It's like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was only there one time. Not that I go there often, but it was just one of the attractions.
Yeah. That's just weird.
I think it was actually, I think it was right around the time that Terminator 2 came out. And that's why they did it. Which would make more sense because he was a good guy in that one, so. Very confusing feelings I was getting.
But yeah, so no, this was my favorite movie when I was younger. I actually dressed up as Terminator.
I've seen that picture and it's great.
It was on my Facebook profile for a long time.
Yeah, that is a classic picture.
It's got it looks like my face is all torn in half. I have the
yeah, you look like a cyborg.
Yeah, a cyborg, and then I had the leather jacket and a machine gun that it was a toy, and the barrel rotated and would go. But I guess I had like 104 fever on Halloween night, and my parents like felt so bad for me because I really wanted to go out and be Terminator. But yeah, I was like super sick.
So what year was this? Like, what grade were you when you dressed up as Terminator? And I'll tell you what I was for that Halloween.
It was first grade, I think. First grade or kindergarten.
Okay, so for kindergarten, I know I was Captain Hook. And first grade, I was a Power Ranger.
Which one? Pink?
Red, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
There wasn't a lot of options back then. But it wasn't fun because I remember not being able to wear the mask. They didn't let us wear the mask. So I just had like a jumpsuit on.
I'm surprised your mom let you trick or treat.
Oh, no, we didn't trick or treat. This was just to wear to school.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I don't think we did trick or treat, mainly because our house sat on Highway 33. It was very dangerous.
Was this in Taft?
This was in Derby Acres.
Derby Acres. That's the house I went to, right?
Yes. Well, actually, you know what? No. Because we lived in Derby Acres twice. I don't think you went to the first house.
Yeah, I don't think
which
so.
it would have been at.
Yeah, because when we started hanging out, you were, like...
Yeah, that was the house.
The last house there before you moved to Bakersfield.
Yeah, that was the one that was on the highway.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so very, very different Halloween costumes. I would have never dreamed of being Terminator.
So what stands out to you about this movie?
I finally enjoyed it. I was like, this is the Arnold I wanted to see. This is what I had been expecting the whole time, ever since I was a kid and saw the 3D movie thing. I was like, this is what I thought the whole franchise was about. So I think that might be why I liked it better than the first one.
When did you finally see this movie?
This one I saw, it was a while ago. I was already married though.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so I want to say maybe 5 years ago.
That's so disappointing. That makes a lot more sense why I don't really like you as a friend.
It's because I don't have the same core values.
Yeah.
Like Terminator.
No.
Honestly, that happened with a lot of movies from like the 80s and 90s. Because I wasn't allowed to watch them. So I distanced myself from these movies. And then once I got older, I never had that desire to watch them.
Yeah.
So it takes me a long time to come back around to them.
See, when I was a kid, I was allowed to watch almost anything until...
That's because you have terrible parents.
Yeah, well, until my brother was born, and then my parents, I think they realized their mistake, and then they started laying down the rules.
They're like, oh, we don't want another Alan. We should change.
Yeah, basically. It was...
Yeah, that sounds about right. How old were you when Nick was born?
9.5.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
So, right around the age of 10, because when I was like 11, my parents said we're not allowed to watch Rugrats.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was the rule in the house. We weren't allowed to watch
Rugrats. Is it because they're troublemakers and they don't follow the rules?
Yeah, basically.
Is it really?
Yeah. They said they felt like it was teaching... not disobedience, but like...
disrespect towards your parents?
Yeah. But I grew up watching the Terminator.
Yeah, but there was it's complete opposite. John Connor has a much respect for his mother.
He's trying to save his mom. You think it's more about just...
Tommy Pickles would never save his mother.
He would never go back in time?
He would never go back to D.D. Pickles.
Yeah, they were pretty intense about Rugrats, but...
I loved Rugrats. That was a great show.
Yeah, it's alright.
That was right around the same time I was banned from watching Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah. I remember that. Why couldn't you watch Pokemon? You could play the games.
Because of the evolution. Because they were pushing their evolution agenda on the children.
Oh man,
and it's frustrating. Because even to this day, my mom will not admit that she was wrong.
Really?
I tried to explain it. It's not like Darwinian evolution. It's not. It's just shares the name. Yeah. That's it. He doesn't care.
My parents wouldn't let me watch or read Harry Potter.
My parents didn't really care about Harry Potter.
Well, yeah.
Because of
the witchcraft. My parents were like, you can't. No.
Witches.
Yeah. Well, and then there was, Dumbledore was gay, and so that was a big issue at one point. I don't know if that was my parents. I don't know. I think it was already long past, but I remember just there being a big uproar about all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember that was a big deal when it first happened.
Does it seem like that's kind of gone away, though? The crazy uproar over random...
Dumbledore or Gay Panic?
What's that?
I said Dumbledore or Gay Panic.
No, I know. I just mean like the ban against things like that. Like, is there still people hunting?
You're going to have to speak over the squeaky hamster wheel.
Sorry. It's my chair. Is there still people who are on a crusade to like ban things like Pokemon and like Harry Potter?
Oh, I'm sure. There's always going to be something like that.
No, I know, but what is it? What's going on now that people are trying to ban? Because it was all that stuff, that was like in the news. I feel like, right? Or am I crazy?
It might have been.
I don't remember.
Well, I don't even know. I think they're just trying to ban vaccines now.
Oh, yeah, vaccines. That's important to get rid of.
Yeah. So essentially, going back to what we said, that's kind of why that's why it took me so long to see it. I distanced myself from these movies since I wasn't allowed to watch them, and then it took me a while to come back around.
Yeah.
There's a lot of movies that are like that it's like I just haven't seen. Okay, like to be honest, this year or last year, first time I saw The Goonies.
Really?
Yeah.
That's disappointing too.
Oh, I'm pretty disappointed.
The Goonies is a good movie.
It was decent.
Well, you saw it.
I think I would have liked
29.
it more if I was a kid when I saw it.
Yeah. It's a kid's movie.
It had its moments.
One of the things that always like stuck with me about this movie was the teleporting naked. That always seemed a little unnecessary.
Yeah, that was weird. Why was that necessary?
So they could only send back live tissue
right.
So that you had to strip down naked for the teleporter to work or the time machine to work. And that's why, so most of the Terminators didn't look like people, but they were able to design a skin for the Terminator to get sent back with, so he could go through the time machine.
Yeah,
but
I do recall that.
They couldn't go with clothes, and so he goes into that biker bar and beats all the bikers up and steals their clothes.
Yeah, doesn't he end up taking a cop's clothes?
No,
like
that's a T-1000.
We're talking about Arnold.
Yeah, talking about Arnold. He goes in and he gets in the fight in the biker bar and stabs a guy in the back. So he like gets him in an arm lock and puts his hand behind his back and stabs a knife through his hand into his back.
That's right.
And that always seemed like
that was a cool scene.
A pretty effective move.
Yeah, it worked. He got his clothes.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get that guy's clothes, but I mean, because there's a big hole.
Got the clothes.
Yeah, he did get the clothes.
So basically, my recollection of this movie is Sarah Connor is in a facility. She's being held. Arnold is sent back to protect her from Robert Patrick. And then it's just kind of like a race. I remember John Connor is kind of like a punk. And they find him at the arcade.
Yeah, so the T-1000 goes to his house first, I think.
Oh, does it? And they kill his parents.
Or was it his step-parents or something? Or can you have step-parents?
Well, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't really be his parents, obviously, or his mom.
Yeah. It wasn't. I don't think it was his dad. I don't know if it was like his uncle and aunt or something like that. But they killed whoever's taking care of him. But he takes off.
I think they were foster parents.
Were they? I don't remember.
I don't recall. But yeah.
But yeah, so he kills them. The T-1000 kills them, and then they find him at the arcade, like you were saying, and that's when we see the Terminator show up. And this is the point where we find out that the Terminator is actually on his side because he pulls a gun out of the roses and shoots the T-1000 and protects him.
Yeah.
I don't think we knew that at that point, but
no, we still thought it was Arnold.
The thing I don't like about having seen all these movies as a kid is I couldn't appreciate the story elements of it. Like, I just grew up knowing...
Like plot twists and stuff?
Yeah. So, like, with Star Wars, I always knew...
Well, that's what I was about to say.
Darth Vader was his father. Like, that never...
Everyone, yeah.
That was never a shock.
Yeah, so we're watching all the Star Wars with Braden right now.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Before he'd even seen any movie, everyone knows Vader's Luke's father.
Yeah.
So you don't get that plot twist And so it made me wonder. I was like, it's always been a common knowledge, even when we were kids, at least, that was just how, that was it. So I was like, I wonder if it was really that big of a shock.
I think it was.
But I was it was. I was talking to a guy that I work with. He's about 20 years older, and he's a huge Star Wars fan. And I remember asking him about it. He went to the theater to see it, and I was like, was it as shocking, was it shocking or was it not? He says it was so shocking when they revealed it. There was like a very audible gasp throughout the whole theater. Like no one saw it coming. It was just, it was shocking. And then that's gone now. It's because it's such a cliche in everything now almost that there's no way anyone can grow up not knowing that.
Yeah. So the important question, what order are you showing Braden the Star Wars movies?
Well, I struggled with this because I wanted to watch it with him, but I wanted him to be interested and want to watch them. And I was afraid if we started with episode 4, he wouldn't want to continue watching.
Yeah.
Because it's I'd say it's less for kids than the prequel trilogy.
Well, it's boring, and the effects are not.
And it's not colorful, and yeah. So we started episode. We went 1 through 6, and then tomorrow we will be watching Force Awakens. But he watched all of them. He liked them all. So
I heard
it worked out.
Have you heard of the machete order?
No.
Let's see if I can remember what it is. I think so you don't watch episode 1 at all. You just forget about that.
I'm fine with most of that.
Then you watch episode 4, episode 5, episode 2, episode 3, then episode 6.
And what is that? What purpose does that serve?
So you see Luke's story, and you don't spoil it. So the idea is this is for someone who's never seen it, right? You see Luke's journey, then you see Anakin's journey, then you see the culmination of both of them at the same time.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's probably
I will say, as much as I remember hating Phantom Menace and wish we could kind of just wipe it out, there are some parts of it that I like.
I don't
like
remember,
Darth Maul. I don't want to get rid of Darth Maul.
I don't remember you hating episode 1 as a kid. I don't remember being a kid and people hating that movie. It's like I feel like it's become a meme.
When we were 10 or 11 when it came out?
I don't remember when it came out. Let me see.
I wouldn't say that I hated it the first time I watched it, but as I got older and watched it, I got more and more like, this is dumb.
I never thought about it. 99, so I was 11.
Yeah. Okay.
I never thought about it. I never was that big of a Star Wars fan in general.
Neither was I.
It was just kind of.
I had seen the older ones, but it was whatever to me.
Yeah, I'd seen them all once or twice, but it did not impact my life at all. You know what I mean? It wasn't important to me. I think I had the toys, but that was just because lightsabers were cool.
Oh, lightsabers are awesome. I mean, if you could take out if you could take out the 45 minutes of pod racing and the terrible child who played Anakin, it's not a bad movie.
Well, the pod racing game for the Nintendo 64, did you ever play that?
Yeah.
That was a lot of
yes,
fun.
I had that game. That was actually not bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, watching that movie is like going to someone's house and just watching them play that game for an hour and not getting to play.
Yeah, I've done that.
So, not ideal.
That is true. But, back to Terminator.
But like I said, I don't want to lose Darth Maul. Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters.
Well, have you watched the YouTube series What If Episode 1 Was Good?
No.
It's by this guy. The channel is called Belated Media, I think. And he goes through and kind of rewrites episode 1, 2, and 3 and it's actually really good. He ends up keeping Darth Maul alive and carries him over between episode 2 and 3, and it's like a big Obi-Wan and Darth Maul are like at odds the whole time because
like a rivalry.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
How does he present it?
What do you
like
mean?
A storyboard?
Yeah, he does like let me see,
like animation.
Yeah, more like storyboard, like drawings and stuff. But yeah, so back to Terminator, right?
Back to the movie we're supposed to be talking about.
Yeah, so for this podcast, we don't really have a strict structure. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
Just like our lives.
We are going to talk about movies that we've seen. We want to talk about kind of what they meant to us and stuff like that, but mostly we're just going to talk, so.
Yeah, pretty much. So deal with it.
But yeah, so no, Terminator was pretty important to me as a kid. I watched it a ton. I haven't seen it for I don't even know how long. Probably been 10, 15 years.
Has it been that long?
Probably, yeah.
When did Terminator 2 come out?
I just had it up. Where'd it go?
I have it here. It is 91.
So I was 3.
Oh. Okay. Really? I thought it was later than that.
No. Came out 91.
Oh. Well, alright. It holds up.
So is this something you would show your kids?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
At what point would you show it to them?
I'd say probably, probably maybe when 9 or 10-ish, I would say. I don't know about first grade.
Well, how old are you in first grade? 8?
6 or 7.
6 or 7?
I would say so.
I don't know.
I think I was 5 in kindergarten.
I don't remember.
I mean, yeah, I'll probably eventually show them. There's a lot of movies I'd probably show them. But I feel like it's going to be so old that it's almost unenjoyable. Like how my dad would try to show me all the old movies, and I'm like, they're just not good to me.
Yeah, well, your dad didn't have
even
great
if
taste.
I'd say 1 out of every 10 movies he insisted I watched was actually decent.
Well,
and it probably would be like that with my son.
Yeah, partly, but a lot of the movies your dad were trying to show you weren't even critically acclaimed type movies. It weren't movies people. They were just movies he saw when he was a kid. They weren't there's a ton of people who think Terminator 2 is a great movie.
Well, and the other problem too is it wasn't even it was the movies my dad watched, younger. It was 2 generations in front of me instead of just 1.
Yeah.
So it's when your grandpa's trying to show you movies. That's the equivalent for everybody else.
What were the movies your dad was trying to show you? Do you remember any of them?
The one that stands out to me that I actually liked is this one called The World's Fastest Indian. Have you heard of this one?
Oh, this sounds super racist.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it. I want to say it's from the 80s or 90s. But it's about the Indian, it's a motorcycle make.
Oh, okay.
And it's about racing. It was actually pretty good. He probably every single day asked me to watch this movie for 3 years.
Oh, really?
And finally I did, and I was like, okay, it was pretty good. It hardly makes up for all the ones I did watch I did not like.
My mom, she tried making me watch this movie called Ice Castles, which is about figure skating. And she loved, she loved this movie and really wanted me to watch it. And I was like, no, that sounds really boring. I don't want to watch that. And this was back when I was 8 or 9, something like that. And she made me watch it. She said, you have to watch this movie. And so I don't know if it was a deal. I think it was, if I watched this movie, I could stay the night at my grandma's house. Something like that. And
If you watch this movie, I don't have to take care of you for the night.
Yeah, pretty much. And my grandma put the movie on and would fast forward and stop it every once in a while and be like, okay, this is what's happening now, and then fast forward, this is what's happening now. That way, in case my mom asked, I could tell her the things that happened.
You got quizzed?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I remember your grandma had, every movie in the world?
I think so. I don't know if she had the world's fastest Indian, but she had a ton of movies.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in there.
Yeah, she had a lot. She would buy them all the time.
Every movie. It was better than going to Blockbuster. See, so that's the problem you face is you have these movies that you loved as a kid and you want your kid to watch them, but you have to do it at the right time or else they won't like it and then they'll never like it.
Well, my goal is just to not share anything with my kids.
Make them figure it out on their own?
Yeah.
Not a bad idea.
I don't really want to force them to like the things that I like.
Well, no, you don't want to force them.
Well, my mom did.
Okay, your mom is very different, though.
My mom is a terrible person.
Like this Ice Castles movie. Do you think it's a movie that you could have ever enjoyed at any point in your life?
0%.
Okay, well then it's a bad example.
Yeah, I don't think it was a good movie. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the whole thing, though, to be fair.
Just those parts your grandma paused?
Yeah, just the fast-forwarded version.
Did your mom ever quiz you on it?
I don't know if she asked me questions about it, but I ended up telling her at some point that that's what happened.
That's fun.
All right. Well, would you recommend this movie to people? Would you recommend this for people to watch?
I would.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
1 to 10. What do you score this?
1 to 10, I'd probably give it like an 8.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd probably give the first Terminator a 7.
Oh, I don't know if I do that. I don't like the first one that much. I always found it kind of boring. But
I liked it. I was just disappointed in Arnold. Keep in mind, he was like the governor when I watched this movie.
Yeah.
I had high hopes for him.
I would definitely recommend this movie. I think it's really good. I would not recommend the other ones. Maybe the first one, but not anything after the second.
So I haven't seen the third one.
The third one's not very good.
I have not seen the one with Christian Bale. And I've not seen the one with Daenerys.
That one was like interesting only because of nostalgia.
Yeah. But no Christian Bale?
No Christian Bale.
Huh. And number 3 is no good as well?
Number 3, I think that was Chris Pine.
Was it really?
I think so.
Huh.
I think it was Captain Kirk, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see here.
The Rise of the Machines?
No. Nick Stahl. I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah. He's nobody.
He's in Sin City.
Ooh.
But yeah, no, I would give this probably 8.5, something like that. It's hard because nostalgia is such a big part in me liking this movie.
Of course.
But I would definitely recommend it.
Well, yeah. That's going to happen. It's like the movie Super Mario Brothers. That is a really, really terrible movie.
Yeah, that's awful.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But I still love it because I loved it as a kid. There's a part of me that still likes it. It's hard, even though it really doesn't hold up.
Yeah.
And it really has nothing to do with the cartoon or the video game at all.
Well,
but
on that note, I think let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Wrap it up.
I don't know how to end this.
How are we wrapping this up?
I don't know. I'll probably have already stopped the recording by now.
Bye.